There are moments in global finance when a single announcement catches everyone off guard, moments when a quiet update suddenly becomes a major turning point for an entire nation. And today, Iraq has delivered exactly that kind of moment. What just happened inside the central bank of Iraq is sending shockwaves through investors, economists, currency analysts, and anyone following the dinar's long-awaited comeback story. The reason? The CBI has officially received the long-discussed, much-anticipated digital green light. Not a rumor, not a leaked memo. A full go-ahead to begin rolling out the next phase of Iraq's digital financial transformation. And what makes this moment so important is not just that it happened, but the timing, the speed, and the scale of what it implies. People expected changes from Iraq in 2025, but not like this. Not this fast, not this bold, and not with the potential to reshape how Iraq handles money, trade, security, and the future of its national currency. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear is bigger than just technology. It's a shift that could influence Iraq's entire economic destiny. The first thing that people need to understand is that the digital green light isn't simply a new software update or a modern banking feature. It represents a structural shift that pushes Iraq from a cash-heavy, manually managed financial system toward a fully integrated digital economy that aligns with global standards. For years, Iraq has been operating on outdated systems that leave the country vulnerable to corruption, counterfeit bills, slow transactions, and heavy reliance on the US dollar. The cash-based system has been a major obstacle for Iraq's long-term goals. And while the central bank has been slowly modernizing, the country needed government authorization to take the next big step. Now it has it. This approval allows the CBI to expand digital payments, accelerate mobile banking, introduce e-wallet systems, and move ahead with something that has been whispered about for months, the Digital Dinar Initiative. That is why analysts everywhere are paying attention, not because digitizing payments is new, but because it completes a missing piece of Iraq's currency reform puzzle. And that is why this caught so many people by surprise, because this step is not just a technical progression, it is a strategic one. What makes this timing so surprising is that very few expected Iraq to make such a decisive digital move this early in 2025. Most predictions suggested that Iraq would stay in planning mode for another year or more, testing small pilot programs without making large-scale commitments. But the CBI's announcement shows a different picture, one of urgency, readiness, and confidence. This green light allows Iraq to break free from the slow and restrictive financial behaviors of past decades. It means Iraq is no longer waiting for stability to arrive, it is actively building the systems that create stability. When countries move from cash to digital structures, they gain visibility over every transaction. They gain the ability to detect illegal movements instantly. They gain tools that limit currency manipulation, black market activity, and delayed payments. And perhaps most importantly, they gain control, real control over the value and the destiny of their national currency. Iraq's move shocked observers because it signals that the CBI believes the country is finally prepared to take that level of control, and that has major implications for the dinar's future. The interesting part is that Iraq has been preparing for this quietly, step by step, even when many weren't paying attention. The CBI has spent the past 2 years building modern financial rails, upgrading banking software, connecting local banks to global payment platforms, and enforcing stricter compliance rules. Partnerships with major international companies have modernized point-of-sale systems and created new digital gateways. Iraq has also been establishing a stronger regulatory environment to prevent financial crimes. So, while this moment came as a surprise to the public, it did not come out of nowhere behind the scenes. The digital green light is actually the final step in a long building sequence of upgrades that Iraq has been organizing. But the reason it hit so hard is because the approval moves the CBI from preparation into execution. The waiting phase is over. The testing phase is ending. Iraq is entering the implementation phase, and that is where real change happens. And when a nation this strategically important flips the switch from planning to doing, the world takes notice. A major component of this transformation is the emerging digital dinar strategy. While Iraq has not released a full public rollout yet, Insiders have confirmed that the project resembles early stages of central bank digital currency models used by other countries. A digital dinar would function like normal money issued by the central bank but exist in purely electronic form. This isn't crypto, it isn't decentralized, it isn't a private token. It is a sovereign currency controlled by the government and central bank. It allows instant payments, real-time settlement, traceability, stronger anti-fraud tools, and cross-border interoperability. The reason this matters is simple. No country launches a digital currency unless it plans to modernize its entire monetary policy framework. A digital dinar makes it easier to manage money supply, track inflation, detect illegal transactions, and adjust liquidity. It also creates the transparency needed to support future reforms, including major exchange rate adjustments. That is why so many viewers are paying attention today. A digital currency is not created for fun, it is created for financial evolution. Now, let's address the topic most people are thinking about. How does this relate to Iraq's long-standing currency reform strategies? For years, Iraq has openly discussed modernizing its monetary structure, including potential steps such as deleting zeros, issuing new denominations, and restoring stronger international recognition for the dinar. But any major shift like that requires a clean, transparent, and traceable financial system. Without digital infrastructure, currency reform becomes extremely risky. Too much cash disappears, too much corruption interferes, too many unknowns exist. Digital systems eliminate those risks. They allow the government to account for every dinar and track every transaction. When a country digitizes before reform, it sets itself up for a smooth transition without chaos or mismanagement. So this digital green light could be seen as the step before the step, not the reform itself, but the necessary foundation that makes reform possible. That is exactly why analysts say this moment caught the world off guard. Because foundations come before announcements, and Iraq may now be laying the last pieces of that foundation. Another surprising factor in this story is the strong political support behind the digital transformation. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani has consistently emphasized economic reform, modernization, anti-corruption measures, and strengthening the national currency. But few expected such rapid alignment between the government and the central bank. The fact that this approval came swiftly and without resistance signals unified leadership. That unity is unusual in Iraq's recent political history. And when political unity aligns with financial modernization, major changes can happen faster than expected. Al-Sudani has repeatedly stated that Iraq aims to reduce dependence on the U.S. dollar, clean up financial irregularities, and push the dinar to the forefront of economic activity. This new digital approval fits perfectly into that mission. It gives the government a practical way to reduce cash-based corruption, ensure transparency, and move toward true economic sovereignty. So this moment isn't just technological, it is political momentum turning into real action. Behind the scenes, one of Iraq's biggest strengths right now is its massive foreign currency reserve. The central bank's reserves have climbed significantly and sit among the highest in the region. These reserves act as a foundation for any future currency adjustments. When a country strengthens its reserves, it increases stability, investor confidence, and the ability to support exchange rate decisions. That means if Iraq ever chooses to adjust the value of the dinar, it has the financial backing to do so without triggering chaos. This is where the digital transformation becomes even more meaningful. A modernized, fully traceable financial system combined with strong reserves creates the perfect environment for future monetary changes. And many analysts believe that Iraq has been quietly preparing for this dual foundation, strong reserves plus digital transparency. What caught everyone off guard wasn't just the digital approval, it was the combination of timing. Iraq strengthened reserves first, then modernized systems, then secured political unity, and now activated the digital rollout. That sequence is too structured to be a coincidence. One of the most dramatic impacts of this shift will be on corruption reduction. Iraq has struggled with financial leakage for decades. Cash is easily stolen, smuggled, hidden, or counterfeited. Black market trading thrives in cash-heavy environments. And for years, Iraq has struggled to reduce illegal dollar movement and stabilize its exchange rate. But digital systems disrupt all of that instantly. Every dinar becomes traceable, every transfer leaves a digital footprint. Fraud becomes harder, dollar smuggling becomes nearly impossible, shadow markets weaken. Government payroll fraud, one of Iraq's biggest issues, can be eliminated with digital payouts. The digital green light is not just about modern convenience, it is about cleaning up a system that has been exploited for years. And what surprised observers is how aggressively Iraq is moving toward this new transparency. It signals confidence, it signals readiness, and it signals that Iraq wants to close doors to corruption once and for all. As Iraq modernizes digitally, it also becomes more attractive internationally. Digital systems are the backbone of global trade today. International banks prefer digital clarity and secure payment lines. Investors prefer systems where money cannot vanish into the shadows. Companies prefer economies with fast, electronic, low-risk transactions. Iraq partnering with global financial networks sets the stage for international interoperability. With this approval, the dinar can eventually integrate more easily into global payment rails. That means easier trade settlements, higher investor confidence, and wider global recognition. This is why global markets reacted strongly to the digital announcement. Iraq is positioning itself as part of the modern global economy rather than trailing behind it. And when a nation with massive oil reserves and strategic importance becomes digitally aligned, the economic impact spreads beyond borders. For everyday Iraqi citizens, this digital shift could change life dramatically. Right now, most Iraqis rely on cash. It is slow, risky, and inconvenient. Many people wait hours to complete simple bank tasks. Digital systems fix that. People will be able to transfer money instantly, pay bills electronically, save safely, and receive salaries without delays. Government benefits will be issued directly to digital wallets, eliminating intermediaries who often siphon money away. Small businesses will be able to accept digital payments and access loans more easily. Young entrepreneurs will be able to participate in e-commerce in ways they never could before. This approval isn't just a government upgrade, it's a lifestyle change for millions. And what surprised most analysts is how quickly Iraq seems ready to shift culturally. Even older citizens, who were traditionally resistant to digital methods, have begun using mobile banking solutions due to government incentives. Iraq is evolving faster than expected. Of course, no major transformation comes without challenges. Switching a country from cash to digital systems requires training, education, infrastructure, and nationwide acceptance. Banks must upgrade their systems, businesses must adapt, citizens must learn new tools. But Iraq is already addressing these issues. Training programs have rolled out. Banks are required to follow new digital compliance rules. Government offices are being equipped with updated payment platforms. And the central bank is working closely with financial institutions to ensure readiness. The reason this caught observers off guard is because it shows Iraq is not merely announcing digital transformation, it is actively preparing for it. Many countries announce reforms and then delay implementation. Iraq seems to be doing the opposite, building first, announcing second. In the coming months, there are several key indicators to watch. The first is official CBI updates about progress with digital payments and modernization. The second is announcements regarding Iraq's integration with international financial systems, especially any steps involving cross-border digital settlements. The third is government policy adjustments aimed at reducing dollar usage and increasing dinar-based trade. The fourth is pilot programs, small tests of the digital dinar or expanded e-wallet rollouts. These signals will reveal how quickly Iraq is moving and how close the country is to completing this financial transition. What surprised the world is that Iraq has already checked several of these boxes quietly. The digital green light means more announcements are coming. Globally, Iraq's move could have wider implications. As oil-producing nations modernize, they gain leverage in trade negotiations. A digital dinar opens the door for Iraq to settle oil contracts in its own currency instead of relying heavily on the US dollar. That shift would be gradual, but even small steps would increase Iraq's economic independence and influence. This is not about replacing the dollar. It is about balancing power. A modern, digitized, oil-backed economy with massive reserves becomes harder to pressure financially. It gains more control over its destiny, and that is what makes this moment historic. Iraq is positioning itself not as a follower, but as a country ready to shape its own economic path. The digital transformation also brings benefits to Iraq's local businesses. Small and medium-sized enterprises will gain access to electronic payment tools that allow them to compete more effectively. Exporters and importers will enjoy faster trade settlements. Contractors will receive money through transparent channels, reducing delays and corruption. Digital systems elevate entire industries by allowing faster processing, easier record keeping, and clearer financial tracking. This boosts economic confidence and opens the door for more foreign investment. Investors love transparency. They love accountability. They love predictable, traceable systems. Iraq's new digital framework provides all three. Education and training will also play a critical role. The CBI is currently rolling out financial literacy campaigns aimed at teaching citizens how to use digital wallets, mobile banking apps, and secure online payment systems. Schools and universities are introducing digital finance modules. Banks are sending representatives into communities to explain how the transition works. This level of preparation reassures both domestic and international audiences that Iraq is serious about digital reform. What caught many analysts by surprise is how extensive these preparations already are. Iraq is not improvising. It is executing a long-planned, coordinated transition. Another major impact will be financial stability. Digital systems allow central banks to monitor liquidity in real time. If inflation rises, the CBI can respond faster. If the economy slows, monetary tools can be deployed instantly. Traditional banking systems often react too slowly to economic shocks. Digital systems are faster, smarter, and more efficient. This gives Iraq greater control over inflation, exchange rates, and financial fluctuations. And it creates the conditions needed for more ambitious monetary strategies that many viewers have been waiting to see. Its green light may also influence Iraq's regional role. Neighboring countries in the Middle East are also digitizing their financial sectors. Iraq's rapid modernization allows it to participate in new regional financial networks, cross-border payment hubs, and digital trade corridors. This could increase Iraq's influence in the Middle East and strengthen its economic partnerships. The surprise here is that Iraq is now moving at the same pace or faster than some of its neighbors. This is not the Iraq of a decade ago. This is a country stepping into a leadership role. One of the most significant long-term effects of the digital transformation is economic diversification. Iraq has relied heavily on oil revenues for decades. Digital systems create opportunities for new industries, e-commerce, financial technology, digital services, and modern banking products. These industries can employ thousands of young Iraqis and reduce dependence on oil. This is critical for long-term stability, and again, this shift came faster than expected. Analysts predicted diversification would take another decade. The digital green light accelerates that timeline. Looking ahead, the next 12 to 18 months will be decisive. Iraq will likely release more details about the Digital Dinar initiative. Banks will integrate deeper digital features. The government will expand electronic salary payments. Foreign investors will increase interest as transparency improves. And most importantly, the CBI will continue building the foundation that supports future monetary decisions. Iraq is in motion, and when a nation this important begins moving at this speed, the global financial community pays attention. To sum it all up, today's announcement is more than a policy update, it is a turning point. Iraq has officially stepped into its digital era. The central bank has the approval it needed. The government is aligned. The technology is ready. And the people are adapting. Whether you call it a reform, a reset, or a digital shock, one thing is clear. Iraq is not standing still anymore. This move caught everyone off guard because it signals that Iraq is ready for the next chapter, one that is stronger, smarter, more transparent, and more connected to the world than ever before. If you enjoyed this full breakdown, be sure to like this video, Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this digital transformation will pave the way for major currency reform? Or is this just the beginning of something even larger? Let's talk about it below. Stay informed, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next report.